She's disgraceful. I gave away more in the year than she has in her lifetime. Billionaire Leon Cooperman launches foul-mouthed TV rant in latest round of feud with Elizabeth Warren as her ads trolling him over insider trading are revealed. Leon Cooperman wasn't happy about Senator Elizabeth Warren's new CNBC ad blasting him and other billionaires for not supporting her proposed wealth tax. Former CEO of TD Ameritrade Joe Ricketts, former Goldman Sachs chief Lloyd Blankfein and Silicon Valley investor Peter Thiel are also criticized in the ad. She's disgraceful, Cooperman says, when asked about the ad that also mentions he was accused of insider trading, but leaves out that he settled. The other billionaires similarly are criticized in the commercial, which is to air on Thursday during CNBC's Squawk on the Street. The commercial also will be broadcast during Jim Cramer's Mad Money and will be featured in the New York and Washington, D.C. markets by Ralph R. Ortega for DailyMail.com. Published 7:39 Greenwich Mean Time, the 14th of November 2019. Updated 13:45 Greenwich Mean Time, the 14th of November 2019. Senator Elizabeth Warren is fighting back at billionaires who've criticized her proposed taxes and policies in a new MSNBC commercial set to air this week, says one of her aides. The ad, titled "Elizabeth Warren Stands Up to Billionaires," has the senator and 2020 presidential candidate unleashing her criticism on money manager Leon Cooperman, former CEO of TD Ameritrade Joe Ricketts, former Goldman Sachs chief Lloyd Blankfein and Silicon Valley investor Peter Thiel. Cooperman wasn't happy. Senator Elizabeth Warren is fighting back at billionaires who've criticized her proposed taxes and policies in a new MSNBC commercial set to air this week, says one of her aides. Money manager Leon Cooperman was one. "She's a disgrace," he tells CNBC. It's time for a wealth tax in America, Senator and 2020 presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren announces in the start of the 60-second ad to cheers from a crowd. She's disgraceful, Cooperman tells CNBC, when asked about the ad that talks about Warren's wealth tax proposal and criticizes the wealthy who have objected to it. "I gave away more in the year than she has in her whole FG lifetime," Cooperman, the CEO of Omega Advisor, tells the cable news outlet. The ad is to air for the first time on Thursday during CNBC's Squawk on the Street at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and during Jim Cramer's Mad Money at 6 p.m. in the New York and Washington, D.C. The aid adds, CNBC reports, it's time for a wealth tax in America, Warren announces in the start of the 60-second ad to cheers from a crowd. She adds that there are those among the wealthy who don't support the tax, which then cuts to Cooperman complaining that the vilification of billionaires makes no sense to him. The next scene notes that he was charged with insider trading. Cooperman exploded in fury over the ad when he was reached by the cable news outlet about the commercial. "In my opinion, she represents the worst in politicians as she's trying to demonize wealthy people," Cooperman told CNBC. "As far as the accusations of insider trading, I won the case," says Cooperman, the CEO of Omega Advisors, who settled the allegations with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in 2017, paid about $5 million in fines and did not admit wrongdoing. Ricketts is called out for his contributions to Republican political action committees in the ad. Blankfein is criticized for earning $70 million during the financial crisis of 2008. Both briefly voice their qualms over the senator in the commercial. Thiel, who says he's most scared by Elizabeth Warren, is noted in the commercial for being on the board at Facebook and a major Trump donor. Warren has said she wants to double an earlier wealth tax plan she announced to pay for her Medicare for All campaign proposal. An ad titled, "Elizabeth Warren Stands Up to Billionaires," has the senator and 2020 presidential candidate unleashing her criticism on the wealthy, including former CEO of TD Ameritrade Joe Ricketts. Pictured. An ad titled, "Elizabeth Warren Stands Up to Billionaires," has the senator and 2020 presidential candidate unleashing her criticism on the wealthy, including former Goldman Sachs chief Lloyd Blankfein. Pictured. An ad titled, "Elizabeth Warren Stands Up to Billionaires," has the senator and 2020 presidential candidate unleashing her criticism on the wealthy, including former Goldman Sachs chief Lloyd Blankfein and Silicon Valley investor Peter Thiel. Pictured. A spokesman for CNBC declined comment. The cable news outlet says the ad was cut especially deep into Cooperman, who's had a public squabble with Warren and recently wrote her saying her treatment of him was like a parent chiding an ungrateful child. She tweeted a response, defending her wealth tax and calling on him to pitch in more. Cooperman in interviews threatened she was screwing around with the wrong guy, but said he also was open to meeting with the senator. An ad titled, "Elizabeth Warren Stands Up to Billionaires," has the senator and 2020 presidential candidate unleashing